Hi everybody and welcome back to BI Navigation. In this video we're going to round off the structure file, the structure spreadsheet, and look towards getting some trial balance data and getting that prepared for upload to Power BI. Whenever we make a change in our structure table, we need to refresh two tabs. Firstly, the ledger allocation, and you'll see when I refresh this happens very quickly. What this tab shows us is what our ledger code is and where it's going to map in Power BI. So if we look at 44100 for example, then we can see that the amount in that ledger code will go to a number of lines. It'll go to profit before tax, it'll go to gross profit, it'll go to a net sales figure, and so on and so forth. And that mapping's quite useful, and the spreadsheet's quite useful just for debugging any figures that may look wrong or any structure that may look wrong. What we also have is a valid department lines tab as well. Power BI will want to generate many numbers that uses what's technically called a Cartesian product, and we need to prevent that happening, and we do that by having valid business units and valid department numbers in our structure. And then we need to generate a table which says which takes all the combinations of business units and all the combinations of departments, so 10 10 and the line number 2, 10 20 and 2, 10 30 and 2, 10 40 and 2, 20 10 and 2, and so on. This table does that. That means when we map the trial balance that this table will come into play and identify just the valid lines that we require. Moving off that and into the trial balance, we need a trial balance which has all the things that you would expect: a date, a ledger code, a ledger description, and an amount using accounting signage here. We then need a few other markers in here to assist Power BI's mapping and relationships to work. Firstly, we need to identify the data as actual, and we need to identify the company we're working with and the department we're working with. Armed with those things, Power BI will do the rest at a later point, and we'll start to see our numbers come together. What may be a bit strange in here is this brought forward column. Brought forward is blank in all instances apart from the brought forward balance sheet, and this company has a financial year starting in July, so we can see on the 1st of July the brought forward balance sheet coming into play. Having got a trial balance in that format, which should be fairly straightforward from most accounting systems, we then generate one or two or either of these two tabs. I'd recommend refreshing them both just in case there is a slight anomaly in the numbers, and the detail will assist you to track that down to ledger code. The history detail is quite long. It's looking at every ledger code. It's applying the business unit number, the department number, and identifying the numbers that we need to load up to Power BI. It's a fairly straightforward refresh process to make that happen. It takes a few seconds to do. And what I'd recommend is this is a demo thing with 4 or 5 years worth of data in it. In a real world scenario, I'd have one of these for my history, which once I've refreshed it once is a static table, and I'd have another one for my current, which will be much shorter and refresh much more quickly. Although you can see 4 years data there refreshed quite quickly. We then have a second refresh here, and this will be the one I'll be using, which in Power BI, which does the same thing, but it just summarizes everything up by line number and business unit number and department number. Then that's the minimum amount of data that Power BI will need to produce what we want. If you want your Power BI file to drill down into ledger detail, then you'll be using the MA Hist detail. If you don't want that, then you'll be using the MA history file. Same process for budgets. These tabs here are exactly the same. The only thing differentiating them is a stream budget. So once you have your budget data available, we'd need to manipulate that into this format, which again with Power Query is not too difficult an exercise. and once we've got that, we can carry out the same process here and upload a budget file. Hope you've enjoyed this video. In the next video, we'll open up the PBIX file and have a look at this data flowing into there. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.